Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. So, this is my review on Ready to Love Season 10, Episode 4, Polly Pool Party. All right. So, if I had to rate this episode, I would give it a solid B. I was pretty entertained. And there was a couple of things that I actually did like about this episode, but we will definitely get into it. So, first things first, this was the man's turns, the men. It was their turn this time around to eliminate the women, okay? They needed to select the bottom two, all right? But they had to take the women into their personal space. So invite them to their home, invite them to whatever matters most to them, business or whatever. So of course, Naim actually takes them to his gym. Okay. He mentioned, of course, he's a gym owner. He has a gym and he has a nutrition bar. All right. And I love that. I love the fact I love gyms where after you're done, you can easily get you a protein shake and keep it moving. I definitely like that. I like the fact that he's saying, look, there's no excuse for us Black people not to be able to work out at this point. And I absolutely agree. We definitely need to work out. We definitely need to eat healthier. Absolutely. I also feel like it's a nice way to promote his business. Okay. You ain't slick, Naim. I think that's the main reason why he brought them there. It is a very clever way to promote your business. So then that way, you can hopefully get some more memberships up in that bad boy. So he actually invited Sahara, Fritz, D, and Khalil. And he also invited True, but True was not there for the actual workout. All right. So the ones who were working out was everyone but True. And during the workout, honey, Fritz and Sahara was struggling. I always say Sahara, tomato, tomato. Y'all already know how I butcher names. But either way, they were struggling. And that just proves that just because you're thin don't mean that you're fit, okay? Because they had an issue. But D, Khalil, and Naim, they was getting with it. So I definitely like to see that part. It was hilarious at the same time because, of course, Sahara was like, she's a little funny. So she was like, whoo, child. And Fritz was sweating his behind off. And I was like, damn, how long were they actually working out? I was like, good grief. Like, it made it seem like they was up there for like a good 45 minutes to an hour. But something tells me they weren't working out that long. They were just kind of doing little quick things just to kind of show for the TV purposes, but Fritz wasn't having it. But with that being said, we see D and Khalil, they actually have a conversation, and then Naim brings them, I guess I'm assuming, post-workout shakes, which they started talking and they were vibing. They were vibing really well. At this point, I can't tell who D should be with, who Khalil should be with. A lot of them are truly vibing and really getting along. So it's really hard to tell at this point. I wouldn't mind Khalil and D actually dating and getting married. I think they both have cool vibes, but we find out, child, that Khalil went to a boarding school and he said he went to an African boarding school. Now, I don't know if that meant that he actually went to Africa or it was here in the US, but it was African based, like owned by Africans. I don't know. But I'm wondering, does that mean he was bad as hell? Do people randomly put their kids in boarding school if they're not bad? I mean, I don't know, but he said they was able to whoop him when he acted up. So some tells me he was bad, very bad. So, honey, I was like, okay, but they was kind of laughing at it, but I was like, child, I don't know about all that. And I don't know how many parents would allow somebody to whoop their child, which is why I'm thinking he was bad and that was the last resort. Because let me tell you something, my mama and daddy didn't play about that. If they was going to sit up there and give me a spanking or a whooping, they was going to do it. No one else was going to do it. But nice little conversation they had. Nice little conversation. Hey, Shayla, of course, you cooking. Chef Shayla in the house. Hope all is well. So then Cam, and make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Cam invites them to his house. Now, I don't know if these are really their houses or they're renting the houses out for the show. But with that, Tay is invited, Rocky is invited, and Hussein is invited. And so they kind of have like their 21 questions or whatever the case may be. One question though that stuck out is when was like, I think it was like your life defining moment. And Tay talks about school, but Rocky gives us some tea, honey. Rocky is a round the way girl. She a Bonnie and Clyde type of girl. She said, honey, that when she lost her job in her 20s, she resulted into selling substances. Okay. Yeah, like street substances. And I said, well, damn. So that told me when she lost her job, it had to be very hard and it had to be a very long time where she felt like she had no other way to go. I'm like, good grief. When she said that, I said, oh, wow, Rocky. Like, and I appreciate her honesty. I appreciate that she was open about it. And she said, that's why I appreciate everything I have, because you just never know in an instance you can lose everything. That is absolutely true, especially with everything that's going on right now. But to result to that, to me, that tells me she had no other choice. So, but seems like she got herself together. Salute to her. But I appreciate that she was really that open. You don't hear a lot of women being honest about stuff like that. I'm sure there are women who do it, but you know, a lot of women will result to other things. Hell, a lot of women will result to, you know, working girl stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Before they usually result to that. So kudos to her. Like, she definitely opened up like no other in that situation. But it kind of caught me by surprise. Hey, Mia. But definitely hit the like button on the way in. But yeah, so I definitely like that she was really open about that. And it seems like everyone else appreciated her honesty as well. So then, child, True comes in after the workout is over, and Naim seems a little annoyed by it. And honestly, I would be too. I think both of them, in my opinion, are playing games, because she claims it was work the reason why she was late. I don't really know about that. I think she honestly just came for the confrontation. She was just like, F that. I just want to know why this man ain't called me. And of course, she brings that up as usual. But he said, you know, man, I invited you here and, you know, I wanted us to work out or whatever case may be, get some time to talk to you. And she's like, yeah, but I had to work or whatever. And I was just like, okay, child, like, I feel like both of them are childish as hell. Yes, hit the like button. I was so ready to hop on. Hey, Kashari, how are you? But yeah, so literally, to me, she already had her guard up when he didn't call her or text her the way that she wanted him to text her, whatever the case may be. He already had his guard up because of the stupid green bubble. Both of them, to me, are being petty as hell, in my opinion. Now, my whole thing is, take it as a sign that he's not that interested, and then talk to the other guys. Why do you keep hounding this man about why he specifically is not calling you? Move on, my dear. Move on. There are plenty other men out there. So at that point, he's sitting up there saying, well, you gave me a Google Doc number. You didn't give me the real number. Now, one of the crew members last week definitely brought up a valid point that, again, I was just not aware of, because I'm just not thinking in that way. A lot of people are doing Google Docs, especially women, Google Doc numbers, because it's safer. And I agree with that, because you have to be safe. But instead of True just simply saying, look, I know we're getting to know each other, but right now I really don't feel that comfortable giving you the real number. It's still a number to connect with me. It's just a safety precaution. If you have a daughter, I'm sure you will understand until I get more comfortable. But she's just like, nah. I don't care if it's a green, purple, blue. You should have just called me. And to a certain extent, yeah, he should have, but take the hint. Now, my thing is this. If he's willing to be that petty because he's trying to say it was green and it didn't turn blue and she giving a fake number, if he's that petty, guess what? He's not the one for you. He's not. But then at the same time, if you're petty to where he invites you somewhere and you decide to come later because you claim it's work and then you want to sit down and just be confrontational, guess what, Naim? She's not the one for you. Both of y'all move the hell on, period. And so her phone ends up ringing and he literally is like, is that the real phone or the fake phone? Child, I was just like, both of them are just immature as hell. Both of them were immature, just so immature. She rolled her eyes and walked off. She was like, she was done with him at that point. Little did she know, Naim had already he was done with her from the beginning, in my personal opinion. I honestly don't think either one of them are ready for love, but that's just my personal opinion. So moving on, child. Sahara and freaking Fritz. Sahara, you already know how it is. So yeah, she was saying that her neck or her shoulders hurt and he was trying to give her a massage. And then she was like, you know what? No, I need to talk to you. Back up off of me, or whatever the case may be. And so she was like, get off of me. She was like, let's talk because I feel like you done put me in a friend zone. I send you a text message and you like gave the same 3 responses. And then the next day I send you a message and it was the same exact response, the same exact way, like you copied and pasted me. And he was like, I'm consistent. No, he's just not into you. He's not interested. You know what I mean? Now, he claims she's too aggressive, she's brash or whatever, but he likes the fact that she's unfiltered and she's authentic. But at the same time, it's not for him. And I think he just needs to say that. Is there something in this where I don't know if this has anything to do with the show, because again, this is my first season, but is there something where they can't just be honest with each other like that? Because I felt like D was honest with Cam. Why can't he just simply say, you know what? I do consider you as a friend. I'm not interested in you in that way, but I think you're a cool person and I think you'll definitely find love here. I just don't think we mesh well. I like Fritz, but I do feel like Fritz is kind of passive aggressive. He is. And I don't know if he's scared of her. He may be scared of her, but I feel like he's passive aggressive. And I also feel like he's just like that in general, because baby, the next episode, when we see the guys kind of get into it, he's coming across that way. And some of the guys are getting tired of it. So, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't want her. And honestly, I think Fritz really doesn't want a girl that's kind of rough around the edges. He doesn't want a around the way girl, because he even said that about somebody else later on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's just his thing. He wants a girl who doesn't kind of have that roughness, or I should say, he probably saying he don't want no hood chick. I think that's just what it is. Which, of course, to me is judging them. But again, you like what you like, right? I mean, that's just what it is. So then Khalil and True talk, okay? Khalil and True talk. And he asked her questions that any man would ask. Do you have any kids? And she said, no kids. She waiting to have kids when she get married. Marry before you carry. Totally get it. Feel the same way. Hope it stays that way for me. So, but he was like, well, how old are you? And she was like, well, yeah, middle range, I'm middle grown, I'm middle adult, I'm middle. And he was like, you not gonna tell me? She's like, no, I'm middle. We middle age. Girl, what's the problem? Seriously, like, just tell them your age. And I know they try to say it's rude to ask a woman your age. It's not rude when y'all trying to get to know each other and you ready for love, because the man that's going to accept you is going to accept you. Now, at first, I thought she was playing, but considering the fact that how she just kept going on and on, I was like, she really does not want to tell her age, which is making me wonder if that is her real age. Because when we first met her and they showed her name and her age, it says she's 35 years old. Last time I checked, I ain't never heard no 35-year-old be ashamed to say they 35. You know what I'm saying? And there are women who are older than her on this show looking for love. So that to me is making me say, how old are you really, my dear? How old are you? And I'm wondering if she didn't want to say it because the fact that she doesn't have any kids and she felt like telling her real age may turn a man off because they thinking if she could still have kids. Baby, this is 2025. You got women now, mid 40s, even in their early 50s, having kids. You know what I'm saying? There's too much technology today. It can happen. Surrogates are a possibility. If the man love you, the man love you. So I didn't kind of like that. And I was like, Khalil definitely is not the one to play games. Like, he seems to be very upfront. So why play that game with him? But I was like, all right, girl, that's what you want to do, honey. That's what you want to do. You said she look about anytime. Yeah, anytime you withhold your age, I ain't got time. Right. Right. Ain't nobody got time for that. She look about 42. She may be older than that. Mia, she may be older. One thing about Black women, we age like fine wine, honey. You could have a woman that's 55 years old who look like she 35. So we don't necessarily know how old she is, but the way that she was hesitant about that, I was like, girl, please. Like, come on. Like, grow up is just, yes, grow up. Just tell your freaking real age and keep it pushing. So then Cam and Rose have dinner. And I thought it was so cute. She was blushing, she was laughing. And you know, when you have the giggles and you can't stop laughing, you're really kind of feeling the person or whatever. So she just kept, doing her, oh my gosh, you're making me laugh, you're making me blush. It was really cute. But one thing about it, remember, she said the spiritual side to her is really important. Okay. But when she asked, like, is it okay if we pray over the food or whatever and be grateful for our food? So she prayed over it and he said, amen, amen. And she was like, okay, like, you willing to let me be me, and even sealed it with an amen. Like, okay, maybe this is possible. In my personal opinion, it won't work. I like them together, but I don't know. And maybe it's just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, my personal belief. I think it's very, very hard to be in a relationship with somebody that does not have the same belief values as you. Now, I know, you know what I'm saying? I do know that it is possible. I do have friends who have had either parents or even themselves that, are in a relationship with two different beliefs, but I just think it's really, really hard. I know for me, I am looking for a man who has the same values as me, especially with the beliefs of being a Christian. Because for me, when times get rough or times get hard, I want you to get down on your knees and pray, just like, for me or for us, just like I would pray for us, or for you too. So I don't know if that would necessarily work for me. But we'll see. And maybe, just maybe, she can bring Cam to the spiritual side. I've seen that too. So we'll see. But I just, overall, as far as the look of them and how they were vibing, I thought they were cute. Okay. So then, child, we get to Fritz's house. And Fritz's house is huge. Now, again, I don't know if they rented out that home, but that's a lot of house for just one person. That's a lot of house for one person, okay? So he invites Cooley, Eddie, Angie, Shanice, Kiara, Naim, and Cisco, okay? So they having a barbecue, a pool party. And so Cooley, this is them like having a fun, Shanice and Angie, and they playing little war fights or whatever in the pool. But child, Cooley sits up there and says, yeah, Fritz, so I checked the hashtags you follow on Instagram, and it seems like you follow hashtags about polygamy. And first of all, and maybe I am showing my age, but who knew that you can see what hashtags people follow? I don't know if she goes to like every photo that he has and looks at the hashtags, or there is some kind of way that you can see which hashtags people follow. I don't know, but I'm just like, damn, people do that. People really have time to do shit like that, I guess. But honey, she checked, and he was like, oh. Okay. He was like, yeah, I'm curious, but I don't believe in that. He was like, I wouldn't be able to do something like that. He was like, well, I think that's kind of judgmental to judge people based off of their hashtags. Like he was like, I follow NASA too. Like I follow other things too, but that don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to space or I'm interested in going to space. And what do you guys think about that? Like, what would you think, I guess, if you can, because again, I wasn't aware that you can do it, depending on people's hashtags, if you saw that a man that you're interested in is following a poly hashtag or any other hashtag that would make you kind of question it, would you kind of question mark what he's following? Y'all let me know. I can see both sides to it. I can see how he feels like it's judgmental, but Fritz, you judging Sahara and Kiara, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But do you think it is a judgment move, or do you think Cooley is being smart to see what the hell he's into so she can know what's going on and just question him? Y'all let me know. You said it's probably an Airbnb. Yes, fine wine, honey, fine wine. So yeah, it probably was, but I was just like, that's a lot of house. But he claimed that's his house. He claimed, but he said it's temporary. So I was like, temporary. I'm like, is it a rental? Like, what's going on? But with that being said, Kiki, she talks about her baby daddy, who I guess was once a boxer. What is up with why I'm about to ask this. I said, what is up with Philly and boxers? But Rocky, hello. I'm sure Rocky motivated a lot of people to be boxers in Philadelphia of all places. Because for whatever reason, there's a lot of boxers that come out of Philly. What's that child's name? Not Monifa, but Little Mo. Little Mo's baby daddy is a dang on boxer too. And I think he from Philly. So I was just like, what is up with the Philly boxers? Hey, Dustin, hope all is well. So yeah, so at this point, she talks about how she was with dealing with him. He was a cheater. And I'm like, girl, is there any boxer? Is there any boxer that doesn't cheat? Like, I feel like there's something when it comes to the athletes, but especially a boxer. Have you guys noticed that most boxers have like 50,000 kids? Y'all notice that? You look at all of the popular boxers in our lifetime, they got a lot of kids. It must be something with their adrenaline or something, but they be pumping out them kids. Okay, so it don't shock me that she said that he cheated. And she said that she ended up getting back with him or whatever. She could not let him go, but then he ended up going to jail. And so she was like, she felt like that was God's way of telling her that she needed to let him go and that she's better now. She took 6 years to be by herself through depression and everything else. But now that she has worked on herself, she is ready for love. And Naim is like, he feels like it's a turnoff. He's like, it's hard for a single mother, especially for an African American woman. And I'm like, then, sir, why do you have 3 of them? Hmm? Hmm? Why do you have 3? Because some tells me they all black. Why do you have 3 single mothers? You have 5 kids. So why are you so turned on with her, but not your own single mothers that you created, sir? Huh? I would like to know. But he turned off by the fact that she's so resilient. I'm sure your baby mamas are resilient too, but you're no longer with them. I don't trust him, y'all. I just don't. Like, I feel like at this point, you really need to be off this show. You cannot afford love right now, sir. This is what happened when you was sticking and moving, and creating 5 kids. They should be your priority. They should be your priority. And she even was turned off by him when she found out he had 5 kids. Like, that's 7 kids total. That sounds like poverty. I'm sorry, it does. It sounds like poverty. Unless you making millions on top of millions of dollars, I just don't see how it's gonna work. But he gets turned off, and I'm telling you right now, turn off, Kiki. Turn off. Do not collect go. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. Do not deal with him. I feel like Naim is dangerous, honey. Yes, I don't. Didn't I tell y'all a long time ago? Didn't I tell y'all a long time ago that I don't trust men with man buns? I said that on Love and Marriage Detroit. He got a man bun, okay? I tell you, just don't trust it at all whatsoever. But moving on. So, with that being said, Eddie and Angie talk, honey. And he talking about how he attracted to Angie. But we were attracted by the prince, the slong. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see it? Had to make sure I cover it, okay? Had to make sure I covered, all right? So, yeah, let me tell you something. I can tell you right now, no matter what Eddie do, it's always going to be a woman out there who's going to take his shit. Sorry. He knows it. I don't care what they put out there. I don't care. They can say the craziest stuff about him. He's fine and he packing. We ain't playing them damn games. We not. He knows that he gonna get away with it every single time. He knows it, okay? He knows it. Go back and investigate, baby. Go investigate. A crew member. I saw it, but I didn't realize that it was like a big thing for me because I was just like, oh, okay, but a crew member sent it to me. I don't know if she wanted me to say her name, but she was like, girl, they cutting up. And I was like, yeah, that's why there will never be a woman. There's always going to be a woman to deal with him. It's always going to be a woman to deal with him. He got the two major qualities, even if he's broke. But this man claims he's in construction. I think he got his own construction business. So he actually is a worker too. Man, get the hell up out of here. He know it. He know it. Hey, Trina. He definitely knows it. He knows it. So yeah, he talking about how he really liked her and she had like her wifey qualities or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I was paying attention to something else. And I think a lot of people were too, because baby, it was at attention somewhat, a little bit of attention. So, moving on. So Cooley and Jay go on a golfing day and they have a nice connection. But if I can be honest with y'all, the only thing that I freaking saw was no side tooth. Damn. Y'all was right. What is going on with the guys with no side tooth? Do they not have dental insurance? Do they think that it doesn't matter because they have the rest of their teeth? Help me understand. Somebody said they thought it was a gap last episode. No. It's missing. Okay? It's missing. I can put my pinky finger up in that bad boy. That's how big that sucker is. Ain't no gap. He missing a tooth. I don't find Eddie to be all that intelligent. He struggles with words and expressing himself, in my opinion. I get it, but you know what? I do that sometimes too. So it just really depends. It depends on how tired I am. It depends on a lot of things. He could be uncomfortable in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of things. But I have my moments. I do. I have my moments. I think we can all have our moments, but at the same time, who knows? I guess we would have to see on a private level how he engages with people or whatever the case may be. Some women too. Some women on this show don't have a side tooth. Damn. And I'm starting to think that maybe dental insurance, if you're missing a tooth, is too expensive, but you can do that stuff on a payment plan. Hell, if you can get a Invisalign on a payment plan, can't you get a tooth on a payment plan too? I find that hard to believe. Chris, who, me? You find it hard to believe that sometimes I can't articulate myself? I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I feel like my lives are good and sometimes I feel like my lives are bad because I feel like sometimes I am not expressing myself, you know what I'm saying, well. But again, maybe that's just me because I'm a perfectionist also. I don't know. But yeah, you said, my God, today. Trina. Oh boy, but that's all I could see. He kept smiling too, and I said, "Oh my gosh, the side tooth." Y'all told me that it's something going on with the side tooth missing on Ready to Love, and damn, y'all was right. Y'all was right. So, with that being said, they have the man cave, all right? And so at that point, it's the elimination process. And Fritz pretty much says he doesn't want a girl who's rough around the edges and who is unpredictable. And yeah, I get the unpredictable part or whatever. But again, like I said, I just don't think he wants a roundaway girl. He wants a girl who, in my opinion, he don't want a girl with like tattoos and that type of stuff or a baby daddy. He doesn't want that. And he has every right to actually not want that. I think the problem is, and I think what we're going to see next week is the way that he goes about it. He goes about it as if they're beneath him. And I think that's what we're going to have as far as the issue next week. But then, of course, Naim wanted to talk about True. Good old True. The whole Google Doc number. He is still annoyed by this Google Doc number. And again, if she would have just expressed herself and said it's a safety reason, then by all means, again, if he didn't get it, fine. But the problem is she never said that until the end, but she just kept saying to him, a number is a number. You have my numbers, a number is a number. So he didn't like that. And then Khalil said, well, I thought I had a decent conversation with her too. And she wouldn't tell me her age. And they was like, True is false. True be lying. And we already done dealt with a True on Love After Lockup, honey, that True is false. I don't know about people giving the word. They need to stop calling themselves True. I think that's why if you meet somebody and their name is True, honey, just know they probably lying. Like at this point, I said, but I'll be damned. We done had a male True on Love After Lockup. Now we got a female True, and they both getting caught up in lies. Gots to be more careful. So at that point, they make their decision. And then, of course, what we see is we see Sahara and we see True. Okay. We see Cam is out with Sahara and True is out with Khalil. So we know they are the bottom two. Okay. Now, if I can be honest, I thought for sure, because Sahara has been in the bottom two before, that they were going to pick her, but I didn't want it to be her, because I just feel like True has just been doing too much. Now Sahara can be extra too, but it's a difference for me. But Cam has a real conversation with freaking Sahara. He really does. And she wasn't receiving it well. And the problem is, I feel like these type of shows, while it's a game, there probably are some things that can make you kind of self-reflect. These men have said this multiple times, and it's two different sets of men. So he was saying they like how authentic you are. They like how real you are, how animated you are, but that's all you give, and they want to see another side of her. And she's like, what you mean? What you mean? Like, then they need to try harder. I am here. I'm ready for love. She's like, well, maybe I should just eliminate myself. And I'm like, girl, just take it in. Take in what they're saying. Like, at the end of the day, when you're coming on these shows like this, is because you have been trying, you haven't been successful. So maybe there is something that you can learn from this. All right. So then you have True. Oh my gosh, you have True. True, when she sits down with Khalil, and Khalil seems so chill, but she kept interrupting him. He mentioned the number thing, and she was like, that's just one guy. She's like, that's just one guy, Naim. You mean, yeah, like Naim, the one with 5 kids. And I was like, yeah, he got 5 kids, but you kept trying to hound this man about him not calling you, and you knew he had 5 kids. So now you want to downplay the fact that he has 5 kids, as if, why would you even talk to him or listen to what he has to say when he got 5 kids and 3 baby mamas? To me, you should have pulled a Tay. If you know your worth as a woman, while Tay was still cool with Naim, you could tell at this point she ain't really messing with him. Once she found out he had 5 kids, she was like, okay, she was like, are you sure? But you could tell she ain't interested in that. It is what it is. So, but now all of a sudden, because you hear that he pretty much said he's still pissed off about the Google Doc number, now you trying to downplay the fact like he got 5 kids, but you wanted him. You kept asking why you ain't call me, Shame. You wanted him. So don't try to downplay it now. Don't try to downplay it now. So then he said, well, then at that point, I asked you for your age and you didn't give it to me. And she was like, well, you didn't ask me for my age. And I'm like, he did ask you for your age. Like, what are you talking about? She claims no one asked her. We heard him ask you, girl. We heard him. We heard him. And then she was like, well, then ask him my age. And he was like, how old are you? And she was like, 35. You see how simple that was, girl? But why you want to wait until the end to say all of this? Now you want to claim you 35. Then you want to talk about the Google Doc situation, Google Doc number. She said it's a safety issue. Then why didn't you tell Naim that? Why keep going on and on and on and just being confrontational when all you had to do was simply say, look, it's a safety issue. Until I really trust you, I'm giving you a Google Doc number. Take it or leave it. You know what I mean? But now she wants to say all of that. But at the end, guess what? True got the boot. And honestly, I'm glad because it was just given a little too much. It was. Now, Sahara stays. And I know some people are probably shocked, you know what I'm saying, about that she actually was able to stay. But here's my thing. This is why I feel to a certain extent Cam and her will go great together. First of all, he's not, into the spirituality or whatever the case may be. I don't think just based off of what we heard when it came to her, she wouldn't care about that. But he sees through her because he said a lot of them think she's brash. A lot of them think she's aggressive, but it's because that's her exterior. And he said, I can see through her. I can break those walls down and see her. I see the softer side of her. Well, then, baby, y'all match made in heaven. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? If you can see through her and see that is an exterior, which to a certain extent, I think that's who she is. But I also think she constantly plays in jokes like that because she is afraid of being vulnerable because she has been hurt so many times, which is why when Shanice was talking about her being homeless and her struggles, she was one of the ones who was crying with her immediately. There's pain there and she tries to cover it up with I don't know what you're talking about. I am absolutely amazing. I am fabulous. I am confused. But Cam was able to see through that. And since Cam was able to see through that, to me, that's what she needs. So I think Cam and her, Sahara, would be good together. What do you guys think about that? Because I felt that connection and he was like, give me a hug. Like, you know what I'm saying, with your little sexy dance or whatever. And I said, okay, Cam. Okay, you feeling her. All right. And then the next episode, honey, we see that he about to get in on Fritz. Even Cisco about to get in on Fritz because he's trying to get rid of her. And Cam ain't feeling it. And I said, damn, Cam, you already fighting for your woman. Is this about to be your woman, boo? I ain't even mad at you because everyone deserves love. So at the end of the day, he likes her. I think he really does. So I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. Sahara can have several in the desert. Get some help. Stop, please. I think hopefully we're going to see more of a vulnerable side and we get to know her story more. Right now, she is kind of like the punchline in a lot of this stuff. Maybe we will get to hear more of her personal story. I'm hoping we can hear more of her personal story. Because I think that's the reason why some of the guys is like, who is this girl? Is this really her? Because she's coming off like a character. Like, what makes her sad? What makes her emotional? What is she really looking for? I don't think we even know that as an audience yet. But I could be wrong. But that's how I personally feel. I couldn't get over the bra straps. Yeah, the bra straps was quite interesting. Like, I could see if it was a black outfit, maybe, and then you don't know if it's like a double strap or whatever, but with her wearing the brown, yeah, maybe she is 35. Maybe, but why not tell your age? Y'all found that many people who are 35 years old that just won't say they're 35? I just, uh, I mean, you're 35. You act like that's old. That's not old. Like, so that's why I'm just like, what was going on with that? I believe production says Sahara, she's good TV. Sahara is going to get piggy with it in future episodes. Is going to get piggy with it? What you mean by piggy? Oh, jiggy with it. Oh, because I was like, piggy with it. She's going to get jiggy with it. What do you mean by jiggy, though? Like, you mean that she's going to show more of her vulnerable side, or you thinking that they going to boot her? Yes. Yeah, I mean, Jiggy, I hope not, Mia. I'm 56 and loving it. Yeah, like I'm thinking like 35, girl. What, like, you 35? I'm 36 and proud. Yeah, like I didn't understand that, which is why I was just like, girl, this is why they side eyeing you. Right. People make age should be such a huge deal. Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, oh no, she's going to turn up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like turn up. But well, I'm hoping turn up in a sense of she's going to bring her walls down and she's really going to allow guys to see some of her lowest moments, some of her vulnerable moments. You know what I'm saying? Because we have not seen that yet. We've seen that she, is always kind of trying to make people, I guess, laugh in the room type of thing, or, showing that other side. She hasn't really shown what makes her scared, what, I'm saying, what she's looking for in a man. None of those, we haven't seen that yet. And again, maybe it's because of the editing and they want her to appear that way, but that's the way that it's coming off. So I'm hoping we get to see a vulnerable side of her, because that's what happened with Will. I let you guys hear that audio of Will. All they had was Will laughing all the time, like he didn't take nothing seriously, and he had an intimate, personal conversation with Tay about him almost not being here anymore. And they did not show that on the show. They had it as a side clip. So, editing sometimes can turn stuff around the way they want it to look. See, I'm 37. She gives me like homegirl vibes. And that may be the case. And that may also be the case because she doesn't realize her guard is so up. That's why she gives homegirl vibes. You know what I'm saying? She may not want to share how she's been hurt and how vulnerable she is because of what she's been through. She's probably worried about her biological clock, but dinosaurs are having babies now. I mean, the way technology is going, like she could easily freeze her eggs at this point too. I mean, hell, Ashanti just had a baby, and from my understanding, rumor has it she pregnant again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta let if God wants you to have a baby, you gonna have a baby. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But for her to say she act like she don't want to say she's 35 years old, it made me question if she really 35. And I think everybody was questioning it, like, what's the big deal, girl? If you're 35, you're 35. So with that being said, you guys, that's the end of my review on Ready to Love. Again, I'm still intrigued. Exactly. Janet did do it at 50. Now, Janet got some money though. Janet probably had 50 doctors. She probably had 50 doctors in the freaking hospital room too. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, there are a lot of resources at this point for women who want to have kids older. Timber, she froze her eggs. Okay. See, yeah. So, and again, when she froze her eggs too, because there are still women in their 40s freezing their eggs, the eggs they have left. Kenya Moore did it. There are a lot of women who are doing it. It can happen. It is possible. You know what I mean? And from my understanding, like if you're not having, like, I guess, signs of, like your menstrual, skipping and things like that, you're still hopefully good. Now sometimes there can be other complications as well, but it's a lot of women now, it's not taboo to have kids in your late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, even late 40s, and at this point, like you said, even 50. Okay, it's possible. So I don't know, but True got the boot. Bye, True. Bye, honey. It is what it is. She started to annoy the hell out of me. Now Angie recovered. Angie recovered, but yeah, absolutely not. Hey, Miss, it's not this live, boo. It's the next live I'm about to do. You guys, I wasn't planning on doing back-to-back lives, but something happened yesterday in the great city of La La Land, LA, and I gotta talk about this ninja nonsense. I gotta talk about it. So for those who want to tune in, I'm probably about to get back on live in the next 15 minutes or so. I just gotta switch stuff up. If y'all want to hear what went down and we about to talk about it, I mean, I just think it's a hot ass mess, if you ask me. So I'm about to go live again in a minute. But with that being said, ending Ready to Love, let's continue the conversation below. What did you guys think about this episode? Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.